Japan is a nation where more than 90,000 individuals have surpassed the age of 100, a record-breaking statistic. While Westerners invest heavily in gym memberships and fashionable exercise routines, Japanese seniors in their 70s and 80s are effortlessly living longer than everyone else on the planet. But the findings of a 5-year study by Harvard Medical School on these long-lived individuals were truly astounding. Their eating habits were not the only contributing factor, neither were their genes. The secret lay in 6 simple motions they perform daily. These are not exercises or formal drills. They are such fundamental movements that Western medical experts initially dismissed them as insignificant, until brain scans revealed something remarkable. Japanese elders who consistently performed these daily movements showed 40% less cognitive decline than their Western counterparts. Their joints remained flexible for decades longer, and their balance systems functioned as though they were 20 years younger. Researchers at Stanford have called this the most overlooked aspect of modern medicine. You are about to discover these 6 specific movements, from the most basic to the most powerful. But I must caution you about the first one. It's the movement that, in a study of 15,000 Japanese seniors, was linked to an average life expectancy increase of 7 years. Yet, 90% of Americans have never even heard of it. It takes just 2 minutes and requires no special equipment. But neuroscientists discovered that it activates more brain regions simultaneously than any other physical activity they have ever measured. Before we begin, please let us know your age and where you're watching from in the comments below. We are reading and responding to every comment, so feel free to share. Now, without further delay, let's start with number 6. Do not let its position fool you. This is the very foundation upon which every Japanese elder builds their day. Movement number 6. The practice of slow walking, or sampo. Let's begin with something that seems too simple to be of consequence. Yet, Japanese elders treat it like a sacred ritual. Sampo is more than just a stroll. It is a conscious, purposeful movement performed at about half your typical walking speed. Japanese seniors usually do this for 20 to 30 minutes every morning, often before breakfast. The main difference from Western power walking is the intentional slowness, combined with specific breathing techniques. You inhale for 2 steps, hold for 2 steps, and then exhale for 4 steps. This establishes a rhythm that synchronizes your cardiovascular and nervous systems in a way that faster walking simply cannot. A 2019 study from Kyoto University tracked 3,000 seniors over 64 a decade. Those who practiced daily sampo showed 62% less arterial stiffness than the control group. Their blood pressure dropped by an average of 12 points systolic and 8 points diastolic. But here is what is truly intriguing. The slow pace allows your entire foot to make full contact with the ground, activating all 33 joints in each foot. This sends proprioceptive signals to your brain that improve balance and spatial awareness. Western seniors who adopted sampo for just 8 weeks improved their single-leg standing time by an average of 45 seconds. To practice sampo correctly, you need to focus on rolling through your entire foot with each step. Start with your heel, roll through your arch, and push off with your toes. Keep your gaze focused about 6 feet ahead, not down at the ground. Your arm should swing naturally but minimally, and your hand should be relaxed with a gentle curve in your fingers. The breathing pattern is crucial and requires practice. Count your steps initially to maintain the rhythm. Morning sessions are most effective because your cortisol levels are naturally higher, making the calming effects more pronounced. Avoid using treadmills for sampo as the moving belt interferes with natural foot mechanics. When possible, choose varied terrain, as different surfaces engage different stabilizing muscles. The University of Tokyo found that seniors who practiced sampo on natural surfaces like grass or dirt paths had 20% better joint mobility than those who only walked on concrete. Start with just 10 minutes if you are new to this, gradually increasing to 30 minutes over several weeks. Now we will move on to a practice that rebuilds your body from the ground up. Movement number 5. The daily stretching routine, or radio. Every morning at 6:30 a.m., a calming piano melody is played across Japan's public radio system. It is the cue for radio teso, a form of radio calisthenics that millions of Japanese people have performed daily since 1928. But do not let the word calisthenics confuse you. This is nothing like Western exercise routines. It is a graceful sequence of 13 specific stretches performed in precisely 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Each movement targets multiple muscle groups while maintaining a continuous flow. There are no static holds or straining, just constant, gentle motion that lubricates joints and maintains full body flexibility. Researchers at Osaka Medical College studied 8,000 participants over 60 who practiced radio teso daily versus those who did not. The daily practitioners experienced 40% fewer falls, 55% less chronic back pain, and maintained a nearly full range of motion in their shoulders and hips well into their 80s. The science behind its effectiveness is remarkable. These dynamic stretches can increase synovial fluid production in your joints by up to 30%. This fluid is like oil for your body's hinges. Without regular movement, it thickens and diminishes, leading to the stiffness and pain we associate with aging. The sequence begins with gentle arm raises that open the chest and improve breathing capacity. You lift both arms overhead while inhaling, then lower them as you exhale. This is followed by arm rotations that mobilize the shoulder joints. Next come gentle twisting motions that maintain spinal flexibility, and then side bends that stretch the intercostal muscles between your ribs. The leg movements include gentle marching in place, followed by shallow squats that keep the knees and hips mobile. The entire sequence maintains a rhythm that elevates your heart rate just enough to improve circulation without causing strain. To gain the most benefit, timing is crucial. Japanese elders perform this immediately upon waking, often before eating or drinking anything. This takes advantage of the natural growth hormone peaks that occur during sleep. Your muscles and connective tissues are most receptive to stretching when these hormone levels are high. The movements should feel like you are gliding through warm honey, never forced or jerky. If you cannot do the full routine, focus on the arm raises and gentle twists, as they offer the most benefit for the least effort. Many Japanese companies still practice group radio teso before work, and productivity studies show that these employees have 30% fewer sick days than those in companies without this practice. Now, we will explore the movement that protects your brain as much as your body. Movement number 4. The deep squat rest or shinzawari. If you were to walk through any Japanese park or garden, you would see older people comfortably resting in a deep squat position, heels flat on the ground, while having conversations or tending to plants. They can hold this position for 10, 20, or even 30 minutes without discomfort. In contrast, most Westerners over 60 cannot hold this position for even 10 seconds. This is not just about flexibility. The deep squat rest is a fundamental human posture that has been lost in cultures that rely heavily on chairs. Japanese seniors maintain this ability throughout their lives because they practice it daily, typically accumulating 20 to 30 minutes in this position throughout the day. A groundbreaking study from the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology followed 5,000 seniors for 12 years. Those who could hold a deep squat for at least 2 minutes had a 70% lower risk of needing assisted living. Their hip mobility remained sufficient for all daily activities, and they maintained their independence for an average of 9 years longer than those who could not squat. The biomechanics explain its importance. The deep squat position opens the hip joint to its full range of motion, preventing the tightening that leads to the shuffling gait so many seniors adopt. It maintains ankle flexibility, which is vital for balance. It also strengthens the pelvic floor muscles that control bladder function. Most importantly, it decompresses the spine, allowing nutrient-rich fluid to flow into the discs between your vertebrae. Harvard researchers found that cultures where deep squatting is common have 80% fewer hip replacement surgeries and 60% less chronic lower back pain. To develop this ability, start by squatting with your back against a wall for support. Keep your feet shoulder-width apart, with your toes pointing slightly outward. Lower yourself slowly, allowing your knees to track over your toes. If you can't get your heels flat at first, place a rolled towel underneath them. Hold for just 30 seconds initially, gradually increasing the time as your mobility improves. The key is frequency over duration. 5 separate 1-minute squats throughout the day offer more benefit than trying to hold one 5-minute squat. Japanese elders often squat while waiting for buses, gardening, or even watching television. They have integrated it so deeply into their daily lives that it requires no special effort or time commitment. Use the position functionally whenever possible. Sort through low shelves in a squatting position. Play with grandchildren from this posture. Rest in a squat instead of bending over to tie your shoes. Each functional use reinforces the movement pattern and maintains the mobility that keeps you independent. Next is the practice that rewires your nervous system for decades of stability. Movement number 3, single leg standing, or ashi. This might sound unusual, but Japanese physicians prescribe single leg standing just as Western doctors prescribe medication. Patients over 60 are instructed to stand on one leg for 1 minute, twice daily, as a form of preventive medicine. It is covered by health insurance in Japan, because the data supporting it is so overwhelming. The Fukuoka University study on aging tracked 12,000 participants for 15 years. Those who practiced daily single-leg standing had 68% fewer hip fractures and 75% fewer falls, requiring hospitalization. Brain scans revealed an increase in gray matter in the motor cortex and cerebellum areas essential for coordination and balance. When you stand on one leg, your body makes thousands of tiny adjustments per minute to maintain balance. These adjustments strengthen not only your muscles but your entire neuromuscular system. Your proprioceptors, the sensors that inform your brain where your body is in space, become highly active. Your vestibular system in the inner ear sharpens its responses. Your visual processing speeds up as your brain integrates information from multiple systems at once. The standard protocol is simple. Stand near a wall or a sturdy chair for safety. Lift one foot just an inch off the ground. Fix your gaze on a point about 10 feet away. Breathe normally and try to hold the position for 30 seconds. Switch legs and repeat. As you get better, close your eyes for an added challenge. This removes visual input, forcing your other balance systems to work harder. Japanese elders often progress to doing this while brushing their teeth, effectively getting 2 minutes of practice during an existing daily routine. This timing creates an automatic habit that ensures consistency. Advanced practitioners add small movements while balancing. Slowly turn your head left and right, raise your arms overhead, make small circles with a lifted foot. Each variation challenges different aspects of balance and coordination. The key is progressive overload. When 30 seconds becomes easy, increase it to 45 seconds. When standing with your eyes closed becomes manageable, try standing on a folded towel for an unstable surface. This constant progression prevents plateaus and maintains neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic found that single-leg standing time is actually a better predictor of longevity than blood pressure or cholesterol levels. People over 60 who can stand on one leg for 30 seconds have mortality rates similar to people 10 years younger. Now prepare yourself for a movement that seems almost miraculous in its effects. Movement number 2, floor-sitting transitions, or seiza. Here is something truly remarkable about aging in Japan. The average Japanese person over 70 transitions from standing to sitting on the floor and back up again more than 20 times per day. They sit on the floor for meals, for tea, for watching television, and for socializing. Each transition is a complex full-body movement that maintains strength, flexibility, and coordination in ways that no gym exercise can duplicate. The University of Tsukuba conducted a large study of 10,000 seniors, comparing those who regularly sat on the floor with those who only used chairs. The floor sitters had 40% more lower body strength, 50% better hip flexibility, and could get up from the floor unassisted well into their 90s. But here's the most surprising part. Their cognitive test scores were consistently 15% higher. The researchers found that the complex motor planning needed for floor transitions activates the prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive function center. Safely getting down to the floor and back up requires sequential movement planning, balance control, strength modulation, and spatial awareness all working at the same time. It's essentially a full brain workout disguised as a simple daily activity. The traditional method starts from a standing position with your feet together. You lower one knee to the ground, then the other, settling back onto your heels in a kneeling position. From there, you can move into various floor-sitting positions, like cross-legged or side-sitting. To get up, you reverse the process. Bring one foot forward into a lunge, push through that leg to stand, then bring your other foot to meet it. This sounds simple but requires immense control and strength. To develop this ability, start with supported transitions. Use a low stool or ottoman as a temporary step. Place your hands on the stool as you lower to a kneel. Over several weeks, use less hand support until you can perform the movement unassisted. Practice on a soft carpet or a yoga mat initially to reduce impact on your knees. Frequency matters more than perfection. Even 2 or 3 floor transitions a day offer significant benefits. Japanese elders do not think of this as exercise. It's simply how they live. They have maintained this ability since childhood, never letting the pattern weaken. For those learning it later in life, patience is crucial. It may take months to perform smooth transitions, but the rewards are extraordinary. Studies show that the ability to rise from the floor without using your hands is one of the strongest predictors of longevity. Brazilian researchers found that people who could do this lived an average of 6 years longer than those who could not. And now, the moment you have been anticipating, the pinnacle of all movements. Movement number 1, the towel twist, or Tenugui Hibiki. This is it, the movement that completely transformed what researchers understood about aging and exercise. It requires nothing more than a simple hand towel. Yet, Japanese centenarians credit it more than any other practice for their vitality. You hold a towel with both hands, arms extended in front of you, and perform a specific twisting motion that creates an isometric contraction throughout your entire body. But calling it a towel twist is a gross understatement. This movement activates muscle fibers that remain dormant in 99% of traditional exercises. When researchers at Taku University attached electrodes to subjects performing Tenugui Hibiki, they recorded muscle activation in unexpected places. Deep spinal stabilizers fired. Intrinsic foot muscles engaged. Even facial muscles showed increased activity. The study that astounded the medical world followed 15,000 Japanese seniors for 20 years. Those who performed Tenugui Hibiki for just 2 minutes daily had a 7-year longer life expectancy. Their grip strength, the single best predictor of mortality, remained above the threshold for independence until an average age of 92. They maintained bone density equivalent to people 20 years younger. Brain scans revealed something even more remarkable. The bilateral coordination required for proper towel twisting activated both hemispheres of the brain simultaneously, creating new neural pathways between them. Participants showed improved memory, faster reaction times, and significantly lower rates of dementia. The technique begins with holding a rolled hand towel horizontally at shoulder height. With your hands about 18 inches apart, you create tension by pulling outward as if you're trying to tear the towel in two. While maintaining this tension, you slowly rotate your entire torso to the right, keeping your hips facing forward. The twist comes entirely from your core, not your arms. Hold for 3 seconds at the maximum point of rotation, then slowly return to the center and twist to the left. The constant tension is essential. You are creating resistance against yourself, forcing every stabilizing muscle to engage. Your breathing must remain steady throughout. Inhale as you return to the center. Exhale during the twist. This breathing pattern activates the vagus nerve, triggering a parasympathetic response that reduces inflammation throughout the body. The beauty lies in the scalability. Beginners might use minimal tension and small twists. Advanced practitioners can create significant tension and deeper rotations. Some Japanese elders perform variations while sitting or even lying down. The principles remain the same. Create tension, maintain control, and coordinate breathing with movement. The molecular biology explains its powerful effects. The isometric contractions trigger the release of myokines, special proteins that muscles secrete during contraction. These myokines act like medicine, reducing inflammation, improving insulin sensitivity, and even promoting the growth of new brain cells. The towel twist produces more myokines per minute than any other movement studied. Timing amplifies the effects. Japanese elders typically perform this immediately after waking and again before bed. The morning session activates the nervous system for the day, while the evening session promotes recovery and better sleep quality. Just 1 minute in the morning and 1 at night provides the full benefits. There is no need for special equipment, a gym membership, or complex choreography. Yet, this simple practice influences every system in your body more profoundly than hours of conventional exercise. Conclusion: ultimately, the revolution in our understanding of aging isn't about discovering new technologies or supplements. It's about recognizing the profound wisdom in the movements that Japanese elders have quietly practiced for generations. These 6 movements are not just exercises, they are a complete system for maintaining the human body's functionality throughout life. They simultaneously address strength, flexibility, balance, coordination, and neural health. They require no equipment, no special clothing, and no dedicated time for exercise. They integrate seamlessly into daily life, becoming as natural as breathing. The research is clear and overwhelming. People who maintain these movement patterns age in a fundamentally different way than those who do not. They retain their independence. They maintain their cognitive function. They enjoy their final decades instead of simply enduring them. The choice is yours. You can continue following Western exercise paradigms that treat aging as a disease to be battled, or you can adopt these simple movements that treat aging as a natural process to be navigated with grace. The Japanese have shown us the path. Science has validated their approach. The only question remaining is whether you will start today or wait until tomorrow to begin transforming how you age. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these movements do you feel would help you the most right now, and why? Have you ever tried one of these Japanese habits before, and did you notice a difference in your strength or balance? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.